Wow. Wow. Just wow. It is so good to be back here celebrating another year in gaming. How are y'all doing tonight?
Yes! Oh! Yeah!
So win! Video game showcases. A time of the year that is quite special to us gamers. A time where we neglect our responsibilities and stay up unfathomably late to bear witness to. Now, showcases hold a special place in our hearts. But what makes a good showcase? Well, my friends, that is the exact question that we're gonna be answering today. But before we do, here's a sneak peek at what's to come. Yes! World premiere. Prepare yourself. Be careful.
Gameplay.
Who knows what we might find. Are you ready?
So here's this giant enemy
Let's
crab.
begin. And I think there are 4 elements to the art of the showcase. And as you can see here, 4 of them are blurred out. Ooh, what a mystery. So these 3 are essential, but the 4th one is my personal favorite. And look, if you're just dying to know what these 4 elements are, then just look in the video's chapters and you'll be able to find out. But as any obscure video game reference might say, where's the fun in this? That is a deep pull. To fully understand the nature of the video game showcase, I asked myself this question. What was the first one?
Housing Warriors Day Parade lifts the curtain on the 75th Annual Canadian National Exhibition in Toronto. The grand old warrior Viscount Montgomery, the hero of El Alamein, leads the opening day festivities for the world's biggest annual exposition. The sprawling fairgrounds are to play host to 3 million persons during the 14-day extravaganza.
Daddy-o, and welcome everybody, ladies and gentlemen, to The Capsule, a program where we take you back to the moments that really matter. I'm Donald Smotherhands, and tonight we are looking at something that truly razzles my berries. The primordial event, the place where everything is copacetic, the place where cool cats lie, you dig? I'm of course talking about the very first video game showcase, believed to be right here in Toronto. In 1952, I do not know what their accent sounds like, so I'm doing this. You see, the first video game showcase was at the National Exhibition, and it was called Birdie the Brain. And let me tell you folks, it is not your average greaser. The showcase was demonstrated to the public, so fellow onlookers and ankle biters could step right up and try this elaborate contraption for themselves.
The game was indeed tic-tac-toe. However, for its time, it was remarkable. The idea of being able to play against a responsive AI, even for a game as simplistic as this, was revolutionary. It was unheard of. Setting aside the now kind of dated gameplay, one thing from this showcase absolutely resonated, and it became foundational for all the showcases to come. They showed actual gameplay. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. They show gameplay, well, like, obviously, they're gonna show gameplay, that's the whole point, right? Yeah. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Decades later, gaming showcases have changed. We will get more into the specifics of that in a minute, but suffice to say, it had become more commonplace for video games to generate buzz and hype through pre-rendered, stylized cinematic trailers, aka CGI trailers. A gimmick that at the start seemed exciting and harmless, but which eventually festered, amalgamating into a disgusting chorus of snores. It's just boring. It's plain boring. The original Watch Dogs trailer is a really good example of this. Ubisoft showcased some incredible graphics. However, the final product was not even close to what was showcased. The art of showcasing gameplay is in determining how much CGI glory you want, right? In contrast to showcasing your video game accurately. And at its worst, only showcasing CGI cutscenes or pre-rendered gameplay can and has misdirected customers to purchase products that wasn't what was advertised. It totally sucks.
Hype is dangerous. Hype kills good games. If you see a cinematic trailer and you think, oh, that game looks cool, you better run. Run real fast. Because most likely, the game will be shit.
And 7 years later, this statement is still frustratingly poignant. Don't get me wrong, impressive graphics are nice, but as the old saying goes, gameplay is king. Cutscenes are part of a game too, but we want to see how the game plays. We, by osmosis, want a curated taste of what it might feel like to play the game for ourselves. Take Doom the Dark Ages trailer. A healthy mixture of cutscenes and visceral gameplay make this a tangible slice of what we can expect the game to look like.
Look at this, it's perfect! Chicago is perfect!
The greatest and most entertaining showcases know exactly how to give us a taste of that sweet gameplay nectar. Now, let's open a quick can of discourse, shall we? Many people believe that Xbox's showcase this year was absolutely incredible. Summer Games Fest was alright, Sony didn't really want to participate, and Nintendo just kind of did their own thing. As they do. Mind you, they did it very well. The reception to Xbox's showcase was like really good.
All right, well there you go, Microsoft. That was a pretty good show. I gotta give you credit. That was a pretty good show.
Xbox, you did good.
This was another fantastic showcase from Xbox this summer.
Xbox obviously won, hands down.
God damn.
Easy peasy, baby.
I think that this is not only one of the best showcases Xbox has ever put on, I think it's one of the best gaming showcases ever done.
And yes, it was good. The titles they showcased, Doom, Gears of War, Fabled, they were all bangers. And the indie titles they showcased too were all fantastic. They looked whimsical and unique. There's just one frustrating little problem, Phil. Where's the gameplay? Where do be that gameplay, Phil?
The gameplay side of things was really very, very absent. Even when there is gameplay in some of these, like for example, we talk about Perfect Dark, and we talk about Fable, and we talk about Indiana Jones, and we say, well, they showed gameplay, and I'm like, did they really though? Like, do you feel really confident of what it's like to actually play those video games at this point? Because I certainly don't. I think they showed small snippets in around other cinematic, CG sequences or in-engine cutscenes. I think is what we also need to be aware of when a lot of these are coming out.
From this metric alone, not to sound inflammatory, but Nintendo fans won out in the showcase season this year because they actually showcased first-party games with gameplay that are all releasing in the next 3 to 6 months. That's awesome. So, we've established that an exceptional showcase is nothing without its gameplay. So why is Xbox's showcase getting universal praise? It's because of the next element. See, I believe that a showcase is nothing without a diverse set of games. And nothing screams this any louder than our once Prince of Showcases, E3. E3. The epitome of the gaming conglomerate. A celebration of nerdom that surpasses expectations and brings people together. An event dedicated to all things gaming, Gamers Christmas. These mid-year showcases, along with various other smaller ones, such as State of Plays and Nintendo Directs, all, arguably, make or break on the variety of games they showcase. What I mean by that is showcases that would spend 1 hour unpacking the next year's Call of Duty, or half an hour unpacking FIFA, oopsies, Football Club 25. Yeah, anyway, that would put me into metabolic shock, comatose me, and potentially kill me. You see, if showcases are a celebration of video games, then it's an imperative that they actually showcase different games. The reality is that even if every game you showcase is a banger, it can get fatiguing showing us one game after another without reprieve. It's why I believe that having a tight show with a diversity of games helps considerably. See, I believe that to construct an excellent showcase, you've got to bring a multitude of genres to the table. This in turn guarantees that you'll have a little something for everybody. Showcasing a variety of games like Metroidvanias, open world games, action adventure games, JRPGs, fighting games, simulator games, anime games. You get the point. And it helps make a show feel fresh, and it mitigates the risk of it feeling repetitive or committing the greatest sin of all, being boring. Being straight up boring. Case in point, Capcom 2021. They showcased 3 games. Oops. And talked about esports. Ugh.
This could have been an email.
Personally, as a gamer that's invested in the industry, I'm always looking to try out fresh experiences and see if a new upcoming title will draw me into a whole new genre of games. Truthfully, when a showcase is just giving you hit after hit after hit of excellent games from different spaces in the industry, it's absolutely euphoric.
Sensational.
Now, we've established that I get excited as much as the next guy over my glorified set of ad reels. But you know what doesn't wet my whistle? With my video game ads. Have ads.
Look at all of you cooped up watching video game announcements. And yes, chicken does look a lot like Ken Jong.
Powered by, of course, Zoa Energy, the #1 fastest growing energy drink in the game.
Kill me.
Now, speaking of Final Fantasy. No. Today during Summer Game Fest, DoorDash has your back. You can get a free burrito.
Okay. This is a bad example. Okay, this is just straight up hilarious. Far out. Why did you do this, Jeff? And just a bonus point, the Summer Games Fest this year did an excellent job of showcasing a variety of games. But what they didn't do so well was appropriately setting people's expectations.
So over the next 2 hours, we'll have big franchises on stage like Star Wars, Batman, and Harry Potter.
Harry Potter and Batman. Yeah, well, there's your Harry Potter and your Batman, chump. You see, when you set a precedent like Jeff did, and then it deeply underdelivers, it mars the taste on the audience's mouth of your whole showcase. Which, coincidentally, brings us to our third element. The release date. Recently, Jeff Keighley valiantly took to Twitter and asked everyone to give their feedback on Summer Games Fest. And I, a person with opinions and an unquenchable desire to share them like everyone else on Twitter, obliged. I wrote, the show was too long with too many flashy trailers that showed zero gameplay. Watching stuff without the gameplay is exhausting. And to my surprise, he hearted the comment? Cool. So there you have it, folks. Unequivocal proof that I am in fact the most qualified insider to make this video. I have a heart from Jeff Keighley. You better believe it. I was gonna do this whole bit where I printed it off and put it on a t-shirt, but here at Connor Stace Productions, we don't have that kind of budget. And look, if you don't have gameplay to show, you ain't gonna have the most exciting ingredient in the showcase potion, the beloved release date. Nothing hits like watching a trailer and them just drawing out that release date screen because they know we are foaming at the mouth in anticipation. Nothing, and I mean nothing at all in this life, goes as hard as when a game is unveiled and the presenter tells us the game will be released today.
Night Springs will be playable in less than 24 hours. Tomorrow.
A core reason why people tune into these showcases is because we want to be wowed. We want to be captivated and informed about all the wonderful games that we're gonna buy and never have time to play. You see, your showcase can have the best display of video games, the greatest showcasing of gameplay, the most wide variety of titles, but if you don't have a single release date, that's a nothing burger, my friend. It dismantles all momentum. It sucks away all the oxygen. I mean, it's nice to know that games are coming in theory. Oh no, wait, that still sucks. Which I guess links to an industry-wide problem of announcing games way before they're ready. For example, for the uninitiated, did you know that Elder Scrolls 6 is in development? Because I sure did. And did you know that it was announced over 6 years ago? Because I sure do.
Fairy dust. It doesn't exist.
Now, I'm one of those eccentric types that believes that Kingdom Hearts is one of the greatest series to bless our green earth. Thank you, Nomura-san. But do you know how long I waited for this game? Do you have any idea how long I waited? 6 years, man. 6 years. I could have gone through all of high school and done a year of uni and still not had the game in my hands. That's crazy. Obviously, each game has its own unique circumstances. With games now prettier and larger in scope than ever, inevitably, they need more time to cook. In saying this, more and more are plagued with delays, and every third game is supposedly in some form of development hell. I'm not advocating to rush game development. If Kingdom Hearts 3 needs 6 years to make, then I guess it just needs 6 years to make. But regardless, if a game isn't ready to be shown, here's an idea. Maybe don't show it? It's honestly one of the most deflating experiences when you finish watching a killer showcase only to sober up and think about it. Not a single one of those games will be playable in the next 6 months. Let's revisit Xbox's stellar showcase for a moment, shall we? They showcased 30 games. Out of those 30 games, 12 of them were CGI cutscenes only. And in total, 12 of them had confirmed release dates. But here's the kicker. 5 of those are DLCs. So, 7 games essentially. And barely any of them were first-party titles. Honestly, there have been worse ratios, but you get my point, right? Let this be etched in stone for our children to see. If you announce a game and it takes over 2 years for it to be released to the public, you unveiled that thing way too early. No ifs, no buts. This means putting my dearly beloved Kingdom Hearts 4 into the realm of darkness. But it's obvious why they unveil games too early. They want to generate hype. They want to gauge their audience. They want a taste of the numbers, Mason.
Who are you people? What do you want from me?
We want the numbers, Mason. That's all we've ever wanted.
They want players to play their older games in anticipation. They want their IP to remain relevant and in the zeitgeist. These are marketing strategies. But as consumers, we become so disillusioned by hype culture. See, there's a reason why pre-ordering has become synonymous with exploitation. There's a reason why every video game trailer you watch on YouTube, you go to the top comments and you will see someone say, "Remember, boys, no pre-orders." You see, we've simply been burnt way too many times. We've become so accustomed to trailers overselling and the product under-delivering. So in conclusion, release dates, it just works. And no, Todd Howard, I'm not kidding. Let's take stock of what we've explored. The art of the showcase requires good gameplay, an eclectic and fun assortment of games, and actual release dates. Go figure. But our final element stands head and shoulders above the rest. A component of the showcase that is both as valuable as it is amusing. A gaming treasure trove that must be protected. I'm talking, of course, about the cringe.
Check it out.
Ryan, what are you doing?
Rolling time, baby.
So here's a fun fact about me. I die from secondhand embarrassment. Often. Like, I physically cannot sit through Scott Tots without curling into a ball of sorrow on my couch. I cry during rom-coms. When my wife gets me to watch these rom-coms, this is generally how I spend the time. Help me! I perish, alright? So, trust me, when I say this, that in no small part, what makes or breaks a showcase, at least for me, is absolutely the cringe. Cringe comes in many shapes and sizes. Looking back once more at the E3 behemoth, and we will find a smorgasbord to taste. There was the unhinged presenter.
Cheers, Sean. Man-eater looking tasty there, and I can't believe they named a game after my favourite weekend activity.
No. Bleeding from all your orifices makes you want to jump up and shake it.
Hey, what are you doing over there?
Oh, hello. Sometimes you have to stop and smell the roses. Here at the flower wall in the Sims booth.
Seriously, Ashley Tyler is one such person that Twitter could not handle today. Holy smokes.
Now, another icon. I got a different mic. The last one was going in and out. Hopefully this one works. If it doesn't, I'll just start screaming at you. Nothing more fun than a giant black lady screaming at you, especially in bed.
You see though, alongside this was the pseudo-celebrity phenomenon. Picture this. You're in the mid-2010s. Who is the #1 most popular choice to present your video game? YouTube Let's Players, baby! I mean, that would make sense, right? But you wouldn't believe who actually got their time in the spotlight. This guy.
What up, guys? My name is Jesse Wellens, and I am a YouTube creator.
I'm a YouTube creator. Need for Speed Payback. It's coming out. I got my boy Marcus, executive producer here. He is the producer in the game. Thank you, Nick, for having me. Thank you, Nick.
The whole concept of having someone demonstrate a title by playing it to a live audience is such a novel, bold, and yet tremendously stupid idea.
Now let's see who the true master is.
That was too quick.
That's why they call me the Reginator. You want a little more?
Bring it on, baby.
Some might disagree with me here, but I think that playing a game live has its merits, with the condition that you can at least press the X button.
I can wall jump. Yes, I can, guys. I can.
While looking back through old E3 videos, one thing was abundantly clear. The presenters were not only passionate, a bit quirky and zealous, but they also interacted with the audience, and vice versa, the audience was rambunctious. They were loud, and at times they reacted to the presenter with more than just claps and silence.
Since we announced at E3 last year, the community has been asking about the solo and co-op experiences of our game.
See, back then it felt like the audience was alive, populated by much more than just the selected assortment of game journalists, developers, and rich people. Nah, dog, back then the stands were filled with gamers, and they brought a whole new dimension of entertainment.
Don't tell me what to do.
Of walking the streets of the future is really going to be breathtaking. You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
Presenters commonly immerse themselves in the crowd and engage with them.
Thank you, Sonia. And I am pretty cool, right? Jesus, thanks, audience. Woo! I didn't realize you could pinpoint the exact time and date a career died.
There was an endearing nature too. Like when people fumbled, the crowd backed them. They clapped and cheered, urging them onwards. Presenters would hype up announcements and trailers, which rolled with literally no audio.
Here's the premiere of Crimson Dragon, exclusively on Xbox One.
That was good. And what did the crowd do anyway? Oh man, that is utterly hilarious. And as you can see, there was a relationship, right, between what the presenter was saying, what was happening on stage, and the audience. And by osmosis, I, the viewer, felt like I was right there with them. It comes with obvious risk, but in hindsight, I found it way more entertaining. But as time marched forward, as it tends to do, our showcases began to be enhanced by an eclectic selection of disinterested celebrities.
What could possibly go wrong?
Snoop, big time gamer. How excited are you to be one of the first to get your hands on Battlefield 1?
Man, teamwork make a dream work.
Oh, yeah.
We have been gamers. We have been gamers forever.
My life takes me to places all around the world, like Barcelona.
Okay, but did you know that The Rock was there with Bill Gates unveiling the very first Xbox console?
That's fascinating.
Wowie zowie, I did not have that on my bingo card. As E3 began to start winding down, a gentle way of saying it was dying, Summer Games Fest and the Game Awards began their ascent, both presented as a polished, high-production presentation that leveraged celebrities and an assortment of great games to increase its audience. That's a bit reductive, but you get my point. But even with all the glitz and the glamour, the most memorable part, at least for me, was when it all fell apart. The cringe.
I want to thank everybody and say that I think I want to nominate this award to my Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton.
I hate this feeling.
It's equally true that too much cringe offers no value at all. It's just pain. It's as my purple friend would say, it needs to be
perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Maybe it's just me, but there's something about our hyper-curated, clean showcases that just kind of sucks sometimes. They feel very risk-averse, sterile, and personality-free. The most egregious example of this is the trend of CEOs and executives getting on stage and talking about games instead of the creatives that actually made them.
And it's just incredibly and awesomely fun.
Okay, look. just don't believe you. You know, I would rather watch something like this. Invigorating. And I feel like I've been knocking the Game Awards a little bit in this video. So let me just say this. A notable highlight that absolutely deserves to be celebrated is the Game Awards Orchestra, or more specifically, the Game of the Year medley. It is by far the most notable element of the show, and it is an annual highlight for me. Sorry, let me rephrase that. This guy is an annual highlight for me. That's so sick. I honestly think this ensemble is single-handedly the coolest, most spectacular, and memorizing display that celebrates and pays homage to video games. For all the shortcomings these cringe-inducing elements had, in a weird way, the jank kind of made it special. It made it fun. I love it when people are just being themselves and just riffing on stuff.
No 8-minute speech like last year, but fun fact, my speech was actually longer than this year's Call of Duty campaign.
What? Classic. Well, there you have it, folks. 4 key elements that make up the showcase. Now that's about gonna wrap it up for us here today. I hope you've had a really great time. But before we go, there's one more announcement. Take a look. World premiere. Oh, no way. We found the secret. Bonus element. Wow. That's right. There's another point. Lastly, the final thing to discuss is the power of the message. Now, I don't believe a gaming showcase is an appropriate time to try and fix all the social injustices of our generation, but I do think they are a particularly useful platform to bring to light the highs and lows of the gaming industry.
And the game award goes to, oh man, I have to pay a microtransaction to unlock. That's so stupid that this has to, hold on, I got this, guys, here we go. You know it's true, it's really stupid. The winner, Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus.
I personally believe that in the right context, bringing the right message is an incredible way to resonate with us, the audience. Knowing when and what to say on polarizing issues in the industry can be a powerful catalyst for change. And it sows trust. It actually makes us want to listen to you. Some might laugh at me for saying this, but I personally felt invigorated by Jeff Keighley's speech at the start of Summer Games Fest this year.
But let's also face it, this has been a tumultuous and difficult year with company layoffs and studio closures, which have disappointed all of us. It's a reminder to big companies that they have to treat their developers right, because today there are many paths to sustainability and success, and that's what makes this industry so great.
Now that is absolutely hype. I mean, like, okay, how cool would it be if Jeff Keighley next year got on stage and said this? Ubisoft wants us to get comfortable not owning our games, while Ubisoft can get comfortable with bankruptcy. The more showcases come and go, the more people will incidentally compare them with what's come before, making it harder and harder for us to be wowed. So personally, I think the more personality you can inject into the conference, the better. Whilst gaming might be the new entity dominating media, it doesn't mean our showcases need to fit that mold. The gaming community is a wonderful thing, and I just love it when it's celebrated, and I love it when it feels small. You see, it's the aggregate of excellent games, good cadence, a palpable amount of cringe, and a truck ton of personality that really makes a showcase to me. I love these video game showcases, and I genuinely hope they don't die out. But that's enough from me. What makes a good showcase for you? What do you herald as the GOAT of all showcases? Let me know in the comments below. Let's chat about these showcases and what we love and hate about them. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I put a ton of work into it, and I've got plenty more videos in the pipeline to come. So if you like this video, would you mind pressing the like button? And don't forget to subscribe. Seriously? Oh, I'm sad now.